Ladies and gentlemen, it is such an honor to be here today. Please take your seats. A man that we all love and admire. A man who has made a difference in our lives. Whether we know and attribute to him or not, 80 years of living and being a servant of people. It's a blessing to be in Reverend Jackson's presence. It's a blessing that he's still walking amongst us.
Yes. Tell it.
And truly capturing his impact on our city and the rest of the world in a few minutes will not be easy, but let me give it a try. Here in Chicago and across the country, Reverend Jackson has made deeply positive impact in the lives of everyday folks from all walks of life. Through more than 5 decades of tireless organizing, advocacy, activism, and moral leadership, Reverend Jackson's name has rightly become synonymous with change and hope. For much of his adult life, Reverend Jackson has constantly used his voice to prick America's consciousness, to confront the systemic issues such as injustice, racism, and inequity. Not many folks talk about this enough, but before his debut as a civil rights activist, Reverend Jackson was known as a superstar athlete throughout high school and college, and even turned down an offer to play with the Cubs in order to pursue his passion for change. Now, as a longtime Sox fan, I must say I'm quite happy that he made that choice. But maybe we need to throw him into the lineup tomorrow. Shortly after graduating from college in 1964, Reverend Jackson would meet and start working alongside our beloved civil rights icon, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King was so impressed by Reverend, his drive and his organizational skills, he gave him a leadership role within SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. This partnership grew even stronger over the course of the next year. And in 1965, Reverend Jackson would establish a new frontline office for the SCLC right here in the city of Chicago. And after that, ladies and gentlemen, the rest is history. And though he was born in Greenville, South Carolina, Reverend Jackson would come to call Chicago home. Huge difference in the lives of black and brown residents, the poor and working class, people who were vulnerable and just needed an advocate. Somebody who was sitting at the seat of power and looking out for them. And Reverend Jackson has fulfilled that role over and over again. Now, in addition to his work with the SCLC, Reverend Jackson created, as we know, Operation Breadbasket to open opportunities for black entrepreneurs to grow our city's economy in an equitable and inclusive way and make sure that no child was hungry in a city, in a state, in a country with the wealth that we have. And he became, of course, influential in the Democratic Party's rules so that black people could not only run, but win campaigns, helped to register voters during his own presidential campaign, settled more union negotiations than any other person that we know, and of course, as we all know, founded Operation Push, which has since become one of the world's most iconic advocacy organizations, and is to continue the fight for justice and education equity. Reverend Jackson has also made the time to strengthen his relationship with God and spread his word to others. His life, his legacy, all of his work, God is at the helm, and he makes that very clear. And just before starting his work with Dr. King, Reverend Jackson attended the Chicago Theological Seminary on a scholarship, leaving in 1966 to focus full-time on his civil rights work. And then he became an ordained minister in 1968. And I was awarded a Master of Divinity degree in 2000. He's been a member of the Fellowship Chicago Missionary Baptist Church, pastored by Dr. Clay Evans for more than 50 years. Reverend Jackson's strong sense of faith, justice, and leadership made him into the renowned today. Without him and his hard work throughout the decades, I have no doubt that our society, our city, our state, our world would be worse for it. And the fight for civil rights would not have been much in better shape. And while the longer fight for equity and inclusion and justice continues, we must acknowledge and uplift the work that this man has done, the sacrifice that he has made, putting service over self every single day for 80 plus years. Reverend Jackson, I know that I would not be sitting here today as mayor of this city without the work that you did, the trail that you blaze, and I am personally grateful for your leadership, for your support, your friendship, and your counsel. Ladies and gentlemen, be on your feet, stand in praise of this man who has done so much to help us and guide our way in a difficult world, but never wavered in his faith and commitment to the principles of equity and justice. Our leader, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Sr.
These are your elected officials, everyone.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a birthday that we're celebrating. So there's a couple little gifts that I want to present to Reverend at this time. First of all, a proclamation declaring his birthday, Jesse Jackson Senior Day in Chicago. Now we also know the Reverend has a sweet tooth, and he likes a little peach cobbler. Now, don't tell Jackie, but we got him some cobbler so he can celebrate his birthday in style. Now, Reverend, don't eat that all at once. Don't eat it all at once. But I also want to share something that is very close to my heart. Reverend has been my friend, my mentor for a number of years, way before I became the mayor of the city. And I had him come and speak at my firm some years ago to really recount his life, because there's too many of our young people that don't know this great man's history and his work. And we took a picture that day that I'm going to present to him now, and I'm going to show it to all of you. So this is a picture to me is so representative. Reverend taking my hand as we walked away talking, and as he has taken a hand and guided so many of us over the years. So I want him to have this, and just a token of my love and appreciation for you, Reverend.